Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right. So, I've said this multiple times. I came into a game with morons, ignoring just very simple principles. Literally, the tanks in the beginning, they know about proper shield scaling. We had people to their health. We had DPS under 20k. That's a norm. You're welcome. But today we'll go ahead and go over diminishing returns again. I'm going to get everybody reacquainted with diminishing returns because why? Fucking tips. All right. So the first thing I want to kind of illustrate here is I've got 6 divine on this build. I think, yeah, 6 on this one. With 1 infused. And with the health. Why? Well, it's simple. You know, I'm at slightly under the 20k mark. Now, even if I keep the health, even if I were to keep the health, right? And I go divine. Well, I guess I should show you my critical value number first. Let me build up that Saskavans. I'm just building it up. Okay, so we're at 74.5. That's really good, right? That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I know. 74.5. That's pretty fucking good. That's pretty fucking gravy. But if I go divine, right? If I go divine, what you're going to see here is obviously my health's going to go down, right? It is. Well, we'll wait for the buff to drop. I don't really care, whatever. Anyways, so let's say, actually, because I mean, I could get another home, but, so even when this comes up, right? You'll see that a couple hundred down. I'm getting the ebony buff, but most of the time in ebony it won't. So there's a scale factor to health. There's a modifier, right? Now, where's the modifier at? Now you got to think infuse is a modifier within itself. But if you go into the Undaunted passive, you're going to get a modifier applied to your max health, max stats, right? That's a modifier. So we go infuse health because it gives us the more bang for our buck, right? And did we lose a lot into the crit by losing that? Well, let's find out. I like doing this stuff on the fly. We'll make sure we get every stack. Okay, now we're glowing. And we're at 75.1. So we got a 0.5. Right? Now once that drops off, we lose quite a bit of health because we don't have the ebony. So basically, we've already allocated the points into the CP system. So you lose a lot just on those multipliers. That's what we call a diminishing return. That's the parts of the diminishing effects, right? If I can drop the buffs. How long do I have on the buffs? A minute and 38 fucking seconds. I should have hit a regular target dummy. I might do that. Anyways. So we'll see the health drop significantly. So while we're waiting for that, let's get into like, for example, slime crawl and kilt, for example. Now let's imagine we go with the slime crawl, right? Let's imagine we're going to go with the kilt, right? And we're going to need a boss shoulder, right? Now, The deal with this is it's going to push with the daggers, the kilt, and this setup. We're going to push a huge amount, but it's not really going to help because we're going to be well over what 90, I want to say 90% crit after everything's applied. We'll find out. About 90. And I'll show you something. 84. Now, yeah, it's going to be 84.3. Okay. It's going to be our max on this setup. Now, which is pretty good. But notice what happens to our spell damage due to the fact it declines. But what did I talk about when it came to damaging modifiers? So when we go into like something like our whip, the tooltip's going to read 10-7, right? We're going to get 10-7 on this on this. So we're not a Khajiit, but we are wearing medium. But what we can actually do, I said anything over 70, the daggers become problematic due to the diminishing effect. So what do we do? Hold on. And I'm so tired. Whatever. So what do? We switch up the weapon type, right? So imagine we could go axes or swords. Pick them. Or you can go swords. I swear to God. No. No. Took me all the way back to the top. Fuck. But you could go swords. Or you could mix and match. You could. That's the nice thing about this game, you know, kind of whatever. But I could still minimize the diminishing loss. Right? I'll show you guys that in a second. Because there's a cap. I know that. But, you know, I don't know what the fuck I was smoking on that. But if we take the axes, if we were to take the axes, and let's say you mix and match, whatever, you're going to get, now when you go into your advanced sheet, should be here. I think it would be. Okay, your critical damage is currently at 28%, right? Because we have the medium armor, we have, you know, and that's what I'm saying. So long as you don't push over the 125, you're good, right? Now you'll lose some because of the daggers, but what you end up getting is that modifier, because you're still going to be over the 70%. But your primary effect goes up. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to go over the exceeding cap, but you don't want to lose out on the damage modifier to boost it. So daggers at this particular moment would be ill-advised because we're over the 70% critical modifier. You see what I'm saying? That's where it's whatever. Now, if we go back in, and we were transmute that, we would still be over, but we would gain more of our primary resource. And let's say if I was close to getting the over the cap modifier for some reason, daggers isn't BIS. It's a numbers game. They say they put everything into this structure, and it's not apparent. Do you see what I'm saying? Look, I put one infused. I'm still over 70-something% with the proc, and I still have my multiplier, thus increasing my base damage. I don't listen to them. I don't. I could even get it. Now the axes in that scenario would prevail, but let's hypothetically say I have more multipliers. Well, let's check out my multiplier with these buffs. So we'll go back into the character advance setup. Now we're at 58. We're not even close to 125. No, you can add sets that'll boost it up, like party, you know, and shit. But I'm nowhere near 125%. But it can multiply. It can go exceed. If that happens, would I still revert back to daggers? No. No. I would use what? The fucking swords, man. The fucking swords, dogs. Duh. Duh. Because what's the swords gonna do? Now I'll actually lose on oh no, I gained on the swords due to the scale. That's good to know. We look, but we're at a 56%, so we lost 2%. That's good to know. And we pushed up. Oh, the scale. Never mind. I know. I see what happened after. Okay. Yeah. Scaling spell damage and weapon damage has prevailed. Same thing with Kenra's. So Kenra's has a non-scalable buff. It's non-scalable. Where spell, and I just, even like I said, oh yeah, duh. Where the swords prevail over the daggers, and I'm still over that 70-something%. The only time you want the daggers is if you're not, if you know what I'm saying, if you're not over that 70. Once you hit over 70 at any given time, you want to scale your multipliers. Whether that be a critical modifier, and that always depends, because remember, percentage modifiers scale faster than the flat values are a base value that's calculated to the percentage modifier. But yeah, daggers, are they BIS? No. Is Kenra's BIS? No. Now, if I was to drop the slime crawl, right, I have to evaluate my position. It's just that simple. So we go back to the Damahas, right? We'll go back to it. Yeah. Now we'll go back to the medium, right? And we'll put back on the Basset's legs. So we've got to reevaluate our position. I'm just kind of doing this like the old school, man. Get all of our Tuscavan stacks. Make sure we're glowy. We go back in and now see we're under. That's when daggers are the boon to us. See, I don't listen to the fucking meta fight, the fucks. They're morons. So yeah, now I would utilize daggers. But if I'm on a kill, And this setup, I don't want to exceed due to the diminishing return, right? I'm losing damage. I'm losing the base value one way or the other. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? And when they say BIS, they expect everybody to apply it without what? The proper configuration and alteration. That's why I don't listen to the dipshits. They're fucking dumb. Okay? They're fucking dumb. That's why there's no BIS. You get it? The alterations differ due to the multipliers at all times. At all times. Your configuration even changes based on race and class appropriately. So when these dipshits ignore the law of diminishing return, they only hurt you and themselves. It has nothing to do with the parse, it's just the math. It has nothing to do with the rotation. It's the way the numbers lay out. You could hate me all day for that, but this is what I did for a living. I worked with diminishing returns. That's why I'm good at what I do in this game. That's why I have my subscribers. You guys are chasing fucking pipe dreams. You're chasing unicorns, man. They don't know math. They don't know how to make the alterations appropriately. So why should I even listen? Well, here's the question. Why are you listening to their dumb asses? Why? I always tell you guys, check it out, test it for yourselves. Do not believe me and don't believe anybody. Be speculative at all times, man. At all times. I'm not saying that the initial setup as far as the gear sets are bad. But as far as what they call min-max or BIS, it's not applicable. They're fucking morons. Okay? They're dipshits. They're subpar. They have an average IQ at best. At best. At best. And like I said, PvPers do make fun of the PvEers. They don't know the numbers. They pretend they do, but they don't. It's not the most effective tactic available. It's not. That's why I make fun of meta. Because it isn't the most effective tactic available. It's everything but. You see, you get it? They're dipshits. My question of it is, and when they come and trolling and disliking, why you guys keep doing the dumb shit? Why are you try to pick on me, but I get the best laugh knowing you're morons. That's the most funny thing about it. Am I always right? No, but I always question myself first. And if I would get corrected, I swallow that pill. It's not about the setups as far as gear setups. It's about trying to put everybody in the same configuration, and if the results don't pan out, criticizing the class instead of their creator. I'm just stating, man. You guys can hate me. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I have my subs. I got my loyal viewers. I do my shit, and people get through content. So here it is. Death to the meta. Have a nice day.